What is going on, YouTube? Joe here with Colornation Media, and welcome back for another live Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle against a subscriber/follower on Twitter. And today we are having an NU battle against none other than Alex. And yeah, he's always in the comment section. I'm sure you recognize his logo or his icon as soon as you see it down there. So inevitably, when you scroll down and see whatever he posted, I'm sure it'll be a nice long paragraph about his team and all that stuff. Make sure to give him a GG, tell him hi, how you doing? Seriously, he's a great guy, so show him some love down there. So we're bringing the same team again, of course, as the last two battles. This will be the last time we get to use this team. I really want Meditite to do something other than kill one Pokemon at the end. I kind of want to see Meditite like roll some heads or something. I don't know. Yeah, I just haven't used it. I've been using it as like a win condition at the very end. So we'll see if that changes. It is a Choice Scarf user, in case I forgot to mention that. And then as for the rest of the team, we have Mixed Defense Lantern. We have our physically defensive Garbodor, which is packing the Rocky Helmet, and it's going to be our Hazard Stacker. And then we have our Spin Blocker in Spectra, the Mismagius, with Nasty Plot, of course, Dazzling Gleam for fighting types. And dark types, but we're not going to see any of that action as I'm looking at my opponent's team here. What did I not mention? Oh yeah, we have Choice Banded Scyther, Winfrey, of course, putting in some work in the first battle, and then last but not least, we have our physically defensive Xatu, packing the T-Wave to slow down some faster threats that may come in handy against Klinklang, which does have the speed boosting move in Shift Gear. Looking at this team, the first thing that jumps out at me is the fact that he's bringing a Tentacool and a Chikorita. He's bringing a Chikorita to this battle. What the heck? He always brings great stuff, but it makes my stuff look like... I don't know what it makes it look like, because mine's definitely not a conventional team, because I have a Meditite. But I guess he wins this round for having a Chikorita and a Tentacool. The Tentacool, I guess, is going to have Rapid Spin. Again, Sandslash. All three battles. With this team, we've gone up against somebody that is bringing a Sandslash. So I guess he really just doesn't want Hazards up, because he's got two Rapid Spinners, unless one of them just doesn't have it for some reason. The Magmortar looks like it's going to be Scarf, although the Glaceon could be Scarf as well. Both of them function relatively well as users of Specs and Scarf, so I guess we'll have to scout to see about that. That Klinklang could be dangerous. I do have a relatively safe play to switch into Garbodor for that, but we're going to have to see how it plays out here, as he's going to lead off with Hugs and Cuddles, the Sandslash. I'm guessing to try to get up some rocks, because I do have a Scyther. What I can do here is just U-turn out. I should be faster than this, because it's a Sandslash, unless we're dealing with random Scarf Sandslash, and even then, he'd have to be running like max speed Jolly, I think, to outspeed Scyther. Because Sandslash is not that fast. So he's most likely defensive. Most of them carry the Stealth Rock and the Rapid Spin. And since I don't have any hazards up at this point, I am going to just U-turn, I guess, directly into Xatu. I don't think he's going to make the play of going straight for rocks here. In fact, he may go for Stone Edge if he carries that. Actually, no, he's just going to switch. Okay, he's going to go right into Klinklang, which is a safe switch for him. Most Scyther cannot really touch it, unless you're carrying Brick Break, of course, and that is something that I would only carry on the Swords Dance sets, just because it's good coverage with Aerial Ace. But since this is a choice set, I don't have the Brick Break, and he's going to go into Floret, the Klinklang, of course. So at this point, I don't have to go into Xatu, although I can for a T-Wave. The problem that I have is that if he sets up a sub as I T-Wave, I'm in a lot of trouble. So my best play here is probably to just go directly out into the Garbodor. A Drain Punch, if he's offensive, will likely break his sub. And if I get some more damage off on it, I mean, I'm going to be in a pretty good position here. So I even could set up Hazards if I wanted to. And I think I am going to do that. I'm going to take this opportunity to set up a Spike and force his Spinners to try to Rapid Spin. And he's actually just going to withdraw here. He doesn't even want to bother staying in. I'm guessing he wants to try to weaken this. So just using the Klinklang as a pivot to go right back into the Sandslash. He knows that Garbodor likes to carry hazards, so that's not a bad play at all. And now we're in the same like 50-50 area that we were the last two battles, where do we go into Xatu to prevent the rocks, or do we go into Mismagius to give him rocks but prevent the rapid spin? And because it's so early in the match, I feel like Xatu is the better play here, just because I have Scyther, and as we continually weaken that Kling Klang, Scyther becomes increasingly dangerous against my opponent's team. So he is just going to go straight for the rapid spin, gets a crit, which definitely mattered, because now I don't get back up to full with lefties. Yeah, see, that totally mattered. Totally mattered. Hugs and Cuddles, that's a great nickname for a Sandslash, by the way. I'm going to go right for the Psychic, get some damage off on this thing, and if he wants to go for the knockoff, so be it, because that's still a lot of damage on this Sandslash. So he is going to go for the knockoff, as expected. He's going to get rid of my lefties, but I do still have that recovery with Roost, so it's not the end of the world. Xatu's been putting in a lot of work for this team. Like, it just keeps living and living and living and living. All these hits that it probably shouldn't be living, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, even when I tried to sack it, it just won't die. It's like, what is wrong with you, bird? So he is going to withdraw here. He doesn't want to take any more damage on Sandslash, otherwise he will not be able to go back into it to Rapid Spin later on. So he is going to go into Alex, the Glaceon, throwback to the Storm Silver days, which, I mean, the series just ended not that long ago, but still it's a throwback now. So Glaceon is here, and judging by that damage, I want to say that's Assault Vest. I really do, but Glaceon has some nice natural bulk to it. But either way, I am going to go into Lantern, as he does go for the Ice Beam. And hopefully we do not see a freeze here, as that does not do too much. Angla taking those hits like a champ, as always. I could go for a Volt Switch here. I could Scald for some damage. It's likely that he's going to go into the... he could go into Sandslash, but that's kind of a risky play in case I do go for Scald. I feel like he's going to go into the Tentacool, so I really want to click Volt Switch to just get some damage off on that. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh, actually, he stays in, and we outspeed him, so he has no speed investment, because this Lantern has no speed investment. That is a slow Glaceon. I really think that's Assault Vest. I mean, I guess we'll get to see here if he does change moves, because he didn't show Life Orb. If he is Assault Vest, he probably has the HP Ground, which makes me want to go into Xatu. But if he goes for Ice Beam again, Xatu is dead. That could be kind of bad. I could make a decent middle play here and go into Spectra, because Ice Beam won't kill. And I do resist the HP Ground, and by resist, I mean I'm immune to it. And then I can get some more damage off with Shadow Ball. But the downside to that is I could potentially be weakening my Spin Blocker here, as he does show off the HP Ground, so we're going to Levitate over that. He's got some balls going for the HP Ground there when I've got 3 Pokemon immune to it. Like, that's a very risky play, because you just give me a free turn. Now, granted, Alex can most likely take a hit from almost anything on my team at that range just because of his natural bulk, but still, kind of a ballsy play there. Here, I am just going to go for the Shadow Ball. If he wants to Ice Beam me, that's fine. It shouldn't kill, and we definitely know he's not Choice now, so the problem is... Oh, he has Shadow Ball. Why did I not think of that? That might kill. No, it does not. Never mind. Wow. How did that not kill? I mean, Spectre, I guess, does have some decent natural special defense. It's base 100 and something? 105? 110? Somewhere in that range. It's in the low 100s. But I kind of want to save this, and it looks like another Shadow Ball is not going to kill. I really thought, even with the Assault Vest, that we would be able to pick up a 2-hit KO there, but I guess I overestimated the power of Spectra. Without a Nasty Plot boost. Or I underestimated Alex, which is probably the more accurate of the two. So I am going to switch here, and I'm going to go back into Angla, predicting an Ice Beam this time, and that is indeed what he goes for. So that is that. I mean, he could have gone for another Shadow Ball, I suppose, but what did I really have to switch into a Shadow Ball? I guess nothing, really. So maybe Shadow Ball was his better play there. It doesn't really matter. I mean, he got damage off on something, so damage is damage. He is actually going to save this Glaceon, And he's going to go out into Lil Lily, which is the Chikorita. So I think he brought a Bayleaf the last time that I battled him. So now he's got like the mini Bayleaf with similar nickname and everything. Unfortunately, we do get a burn there. I don't think that's going to be the end of the world for him just because he does have the aromatherapy, most likely. I'm assuming this is... Judging by the team, I would like to say that he is physically defensive, but I'm not positive. It could be mixed defenses too. Because Chikorita actually is no slouch on the defensive side. I'm not sure why he brought Chikorita instead of Bayleaf, because it's an NU match and you can still bring Bayleaf. But I think he just wanted to bring it for the cool factor. Similarly to how I'm bringing a Meditite when there's really no reason. I just did it because I wanted to use Meditite. Who wouldn't want to use a Meditite? Come on now. So, I could use this as an opportunity to go into Garbodor, because he can't Toxic me, Giga Drain will do nothing, and I can set up all the hazards I want, and threaten him out with a potential Poison-type move. The most he could do is Leech Seed me. So, yeah, he is going to use this turn to go for the Aromatherapy, which is probably his better play, just because that residual damage does kind of hurt the Chikorita. The prior damage that I did get off with that burn, though, is going to be helpful later on, because I think that a high jump kick is going to be a 2-hit KO from there pretty easily, just because Meditite is super powerful. I hope we get to show it off. I really, really hope I get to show it off in this battle before we switch up the teams. But I'm going to go for Spikes again, as he's going to go into the Tentacool this time around. So, fair enough. This could have the Rapid Spin as well, although he is going to take Rocky Helmet damage if he decides to do that. Now, what other moves would this thing typically carry? Possibly Knockoff, possibly Scald, just for a stab move. He could have Toxic Spikes as well, but if he does have the Toxic Spikes, he probably won't go for it, because the only thing it affects, really, that would really matter would be Lantern. And with Garbodor still alive, I can just switch back in and absorb those. So, yeah. That is that. Either way, I don't want him Rapid Spinning. I will go right out into Spectra here. As he does go for the Scald, that probably is going to take me out. Actually, no, it does not. We live on 4, and he does not get the burn, unfortunately. Darn. That kind of stinks. Kind of stinks for him, because I get to get free damage off, or I can pivot and save this thing, because he doesn't have hazards up. So, what do I want to do here? I feel like I should use this to my advantage, that Spectre was able to survive just on what I'm assuming is a damage roll that went against him. Unless that was max damage, in which case that's really sad, because how much HP did I have? Like 30 HP? Something like that. I'm going to go into Xatu here. At least I can hit this thing super effectively. It does have a lot of special defense, though, so it probably won't even be a 2-hit KO. But he is going to go for Scald again. Xatu is looking pretty useless, to be honest. And if he burns me, it's not the end of the world. He can't kill me anyway, so I could Roost up. Do I go straight for the Psychic? Do I go for the Roost? He might Rapid Spin here. So I'm going to bank on the Rapid Spin, and I will go for the Psychic. And that's not going to be a 2-hit KO unless we get a very high roll next time around. So he might be invested in his physical defense then. Possibly. Because I think Tentacool has base 100 special defense. Pretty sure. I feel like he would have taken that a little bit better. I know it's a super effective hit, but this is defensive Xatu. So at this point, I'm going to predict a switch. I don't think he's going to want to take more damage, so I will go for the U-turn, and he is going to switch into the Kling Clang again. So T-Wave probably would have been my best play there, although it's also possible that he is carrying the Lumberry. So yeah, and he outspeeds me, so if he had sub, that would not be good. So now we get a free switch again, and I can go into Garbodor and set up more hazards, or Drain Punch him. That is definitely an option. Or I could go out into my Meditite here. And I think that's what I'm going to do, because I definitely outspeed him. There's no way he's Scarf Kling Clang. And he has no switch-ins, because that Tentacool is going to die. It's going to be a 2-hit KO. He has to pick fodder at this point, because this thing is a nuke. This is an absolute nuke. Not as much as the Choice Band variants, but it outspeeds a lot thanks to the Scarf. Yeah, this is going to be 2-hit KO'd from that range. Probably not from full, but Yeah, so he's going to fodder off his Sand Slash here, I guess. Which means that's one less Rapid Spin user. I was not expecting him to want to take that much damage on this Sand Slash, especially because he already has the prior damage on the Tentacool. But it's also possible that he was not expecting Meditite to be able to dish out that much damage, because it's surprising how much this thing can really hurt you. So we'll see what he wants to do here. He's got to fodder something, unless we miss a high jump kick. And then I will cry. I will cry. Roman, you better just behave for the next couple of turns. Let Dolly kill some things. Please. So he's going to switch again. So he just takes all that damage on his Sand Slash, and now he's going to go out into Chikorita. That's going to get 2-hit KO'd as well. So we're just weakening his entire team, basically. Yeah, I guess he decided he did not want to give up the Sand Slash. He thought he was going to be able to take that a little bit better. And at this point, Chikorita is just going to go down, which does mean that he does not have an Aromatherapy user anymore. So if I can potentially catch that Kling Clang with the T-Wave, that could be nice. Although I did mention that it could possibly be Lumberry as well. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But right now, he's in a little bit of a predicament. This thing is just damaging everything. So if he has a Scarf user, I would assume it's that Magmortar. So he may go out into that here, because he doesn't know I'm Scarfed either. He does not know what my item is. He could assume that I'm choiced in some manner, but unless he just calculated how much I did to his Sand Slash, there's really no way to know exactly which item it is. So he does go out into the Magmortar, and I have an extremely safe switch into Lantern. He can't touch me because his coverage moves, other than his Fire Stab, usually are T-Bolts, maybe Psychic for some of the fighting types that are everywhere in NU. HP Grass is not going to be doing enough, even if you're Specs, so I'm not really worried about that. He does opt to go for the T-Bolt, and we're going to switch on that, get ourselves the Volt Absorb, and get back up to full health, and now he is most likely going to have to switch, because I'm pretty sure this is choiced. Just because I don't think... Like, the only other thing I would think would be maybe Assault Vest, but he had Assault Vest Glaceon. Could be Life Orb, I suppose. I really think it's choice, though. I'm going to Scald. He could very easily go out into the Tentacool, but his team is hurting at this point. It really is. He's starting to have some trouble with viable things to switch into because that Chikorita is gone. So he is going to go into Alex here. He doesn't get the burn, which is good for him. And I could opt to stay in here and try to Scald him again. But judging by how much that did, it looks like he might just barely be able to take another hit. So I might have to get the burn. But he can't kill me with an HP Ground. Assault Vest? Yeah, that's just not going to happen. So I'm not going to go for the Scald, because I don't think that's going to kill. Actually, it may have. It may have. Did I get a higher roll on Volt Switch? Because Scald is 10 base power more. Maybe I should have went for Scald there. So now I have to take a hit on something, and I will go into Xatu, as he does actually go for the HP Ground. So we get the safe switch. And now we get another free hit off on something. He might want to go into the Kling Clang, and just in case he does do that, I am going to U-turn, because I don't want him getting a free turn of a setup here. So we do outspeed this, because Lantern was outspeeding it. So we get rid of the Glaceon, which is great, because that thing can one-shot Scyther. We don't like that so much. It might be able to one-shot Meditite too, just because I don't have Eviolite, and even Medicham, you know, after he evolves, is pretty frail. This is going to give me another safe switch into Dolly if I want to go that route. I mean, he really has nothing to go into. If he goes into Tentacool, I can just Zen Headbutt that. And to be honest, a high jump kick might kill. It's very possible. What else would I want to go into? I mean, the team is looking pretty good right here. Somehow we haven't lost a Pokemon yet. We're almost 20 minutes into this battle. How has that happened? Other than the silly damage roll that kept Spectra alive. I'm assuming that was a damage roll. That Scald did absolutely nothing. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out into Winfrey here. So we can get some more momentum going. I just realized how many U-turn and Volt Switch users I have on this team. Like, Scyther and Lantern form a pretty decent Volt Turn core, and then Xatu also has U-Turn too. I don't know why my teams are like that. Like, either they have no users of the move, and I just can't get momentum at all, or it's like Overload, where I have 3 or 4 Pokemon on the team that have momentum gaining moves. It's silliness. It's like I just can't find the happy medium. There is no happy medium. Only extremes. That's how I roll. So he's going to go out into Hugs and Cuddles. This is most likely going to die to a knockoff, I think. Or not a knockoff, an Aerial Ace. The problem I have with that is if I lock myself into Aerial Ace, he gets a safe switch into Kling Klang. And at that point, he gets a kill. Because at +1, I'm pretty sure Gear Grind is a 2-hit KO on Garbodor. There's really nothing I can do about it, but I want to get rid of this thing, so I am going to go for the Aerial Ace. So Sand Slash is out of the way. That's one less Rapid Spin user and defensive Pokemon that I have to deal with. So that's gone, and he does indeed go out into the Kling Klang as expected. Now, if he's going to Shift Gear here, and I can't really stop him from doing that. The question is, what do I want to go into? And it has to be Garbodor. That's really my only play. And then I can Drain Punch him from there, try to see if I can get him into range where maybe a not very effective Quick Attack can take him out. We'll have to see. Otherwise, we're going to have to take a hit with Lantern and either Volt Switch to get some momentum going or Scald him a few times. We should be okay, though. I don't see this thing sweeping my entire team. Either way, I'm going to go straight for the Drain Punch, put some pressure on him. He actually goes for a second Shift Gear, so he's going to be at +4 speed, +2 attack. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to 2-hit KO me for sure. But that Drain Punch does a solid 30 or so % in that range. And do I want to sack something? I'm sort of tempted to just sack Spectra here. But, is Gear Grind a contact move, though? I don't know if he's going to get hurt by Rocky Helmet or not. He actually goes for the return and not the Gear Grind, because obviously that's going to hit me neutrally. And that Kling Klang hates him. That return did nothing. I think he forgot to raise its happiness. I don't know if he bred it in a different game and traded it and forgot to do the happiness, but that really stinks. I'm positive that was going to do over 50% at +2. Even though I am physically defensive, that had to do a solid chunk, and he's just going to die to all the recoil and Drain Punch and all that stuff. Man, I didn't even know machines were capable of hate, but that Kling Klang, man, that Kling Klang could not stand the sight of him. Should have had Frustration on there instead. Maybe that would have helped out. That really stinks, because now he's in a bad spot. He has to go out into Magmortar, and he's got Magmortar and Tentacool left? Is Tentacool still alive? How has he managed to preserve that this entire battle? That's crazy. Let's see. Do I want to sack Spectre? I feel like I do. It's looking pretty useless. The Shadow Ball's not going to be doing that much to a Tentacool. And I think this thing is Scarfed, so I'm not going to even worry about it. And I'll get to see what he locks himself into. It ends up being Fire Blast. And, yeah. Spectra, you're going down. You're going down. Actually, he could be Specs, though. Is he Specs? If he's Specs, I can go out into Meditite. But if I guess wrong, I lose him. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but Zen Headbutt would be really nice for that Tentacool. But I also have Scyther, which just demolishes it, so I guess it's not the end of the world. But I also have a very, very safe switch in Angela here, because he can't do anything to me, and regardless of whether he's Specs or not, he's locked in. So, because he did not show the Life Orb. So at least we get that useful information. And we will see how he wants to play this now. If he wants to take damage and just continue to Fire Blast, or if he wants to make the switch and try to pull it back with Tentacool. We'll have to see. It might have Toxic. I don't know. But he does go into the Tentacool here, as we are going to get a Scald off. That does absolutely 0 damage. And we do not get a burn, which is fine, because I think we've used Scald 3 times and got a burn once, so that makes sense. As he does show off the Acid Spray, actually, but we are just going to Volt Switch out of here, so that special defense drop is not going to mean anything. He is going to live the Volt Switch as well, because this thing is a fat sack of potatoes on the special side, I'll tell you that much. And at this point, we can just go into Dolly and just start clicking high jump kick. If he is Specs Magmortar and I hit it twice, then I'm pretty sure that's game. Like, I don't think Magmortar can take a high jump kick, even though I'm just Scarf. This thing is power. This thing is power. I guess we'll see. We're gonna give him a chance. Let's go, Meditite. Dolly putting in some work. High jump kick does connect this time, and if I was gonna miss, it should have been against the Tentacool, because I don't think he could have killed me with a Scald. Pretty sure he couldn't have. But the Tentacool's going to bite the dust, and his last Pokemon is here. It's going to be Vesuvius, which is a great nickname, by the way, for a Magmortar. We just click high jump kick. It turns out that he does not outspeed us, and that is an Oko. Granted, Magmortar does not have the best physical defense, but that is a Choice Scarf Meditite. That's not even Banded, it's not Adamant, it's Jolly Meditite, and that just straight up Okos. That is ridiculous. That's stupid damage. I'm sorry, that's just silliness. That was a lot of fun. I'm so happy that Meditite was able to put in some work. It was really cool to see Tentacool and Chikorita, even if Chikorita didn't get to do a whole lot. That was seriously a lot of fun. So thank you very much, as always, for the battle, Alex. I look forward to the next one. If you guys see him in the comment section, remember to give him a GG, give him a hey, what's up? He's a cool guy. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. But that's going to be it for this time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you are leaving a like rating or a comment or whatever you would like to do, of course, and I will see you all next time. But until then, game on.